Are you a woman in your 30s, 40s, suffering with acne? I had a question actually sent to me by one of my fans, my readers. Let me read it to you. I had great skin when I was younger, but now I'm breaking out. I just don't understand. I'm not a teenager anymore. Why am I breaking out? That is such a common question we get as beauty therapists. And in fact, this question came up during the week when I was talking to somebody about their skin. Hi, my name is Jana Elston. I'm a skincare educator, beauty blogger, and a qualified beauty therapist. And I help people with their skin. I give advice to people on how to help care for their skin. And I teach beauty therapists on the best skincare and treatments to help people improve their skin and have a beautiful skin. And I'm really passionate about skin, but I do also talk about general wellness, health, and well-being because it does directly relate to the skin. Your skin is a mirror of what's happening inside. And today's topic will be very much linked to what's happening on the inside as well, because that is part of the answer of what's happening with women in their 30s and 40s and they're breaking out. And it often is that they tell me that they haven't had any breakouts when they were younger. They had beautiful skin. Occasionally I'll meet somebody who'll say, look, I had bad skin, I recovered, now I'm breaking out again. I just don't get it. Adult acne is very different to teenage or juvenile acne. And that's something we'll talk about. So first of all, what is acne? Acne are lesions or breakouts on your skin. Now, there is different types that appear on the skin. There are some that appear down the center. Often you will see also blackheads around them. You may experience oily skin, and overnight you wake up in the morning and you've got this zit. And zit usually is referred to skin lesions that have these yellow pussy head on the top. So if you were to squeeze that lesion, it'll actually leak out pus. Now that's called infected acne, and it's most often associated with juvenile acne, with teenage acne. It is located usually in the pore. So the pore has become all clogged up. The matter inside the pore has built up, and the matter that's inside the pore is dead cells and skin's oil, which is called sebum. Sometimes the hair is in there, and the pore or the follicle becomes so full and so distended or dilated with all the contents, it eventually bursts. And that bursting action then causes the infection to the follicle. And the body is very efficient at expelling that waste out of the skin. So you don't even have to squeeze that pimple. The body will actually squeeze it all out. Over time, it'll bring it up to the surface. It'll dry off and flake off. So that's an infected lesion, and it's most associated with young, juvenile, teenage acne because they often have oily skin, which causes the buildup in the pores, which then causes the breakouts, the blackheads or the breakouts. And you will often see that down the center. However, in adult acne, it's very different. You will often see adult acne appearing on the jawline, the cheeks, between the brows, the temples, sometimes on the neck as well, the shoulders, the chest, and the back. And the lesions look very different. They are painful, big lumps in the skin. They're red. They can be very sore to the touch. They can feel hot as well. And they can also appear overnight. They're and I used to get them whenever I was stressed. I would get a painful pimple on the tip of my nose, and it was red and painful and deep. And if you try to squeeze a lesion like that, nothing comes out. At first, just this clear liquid comes out and then blood. The clear liquid that's coming out is lymph. And that kind of tells you what's inside the lesion, what it's related to. It's your lymphatic system. And this is why you often see these lesions appearing around the lymphatic channels on the face, the neck, the chest, and the back, and the shoulders. So your lymphatics are channels that run parallel to your blood veins and capillaries, and the blood brings nutrition to the skin, to the tissues, and the lymphatic, which is a clear liquid, sweeps up, mops up, collects all the waste product that your cells excrete. They're collected to be processed through the lymphatic glands to detox. So they go through your lymphatic glands where any toxins are neutralized, any bacteria is neutralized. And then it's like a garbage disposal system for your body. So your lymphatic system is really, really important that you keep your lymphatic system healthy in order so they can detoxify your body and collect all the waste material and process it properly. If it's not done properly, or if your lymphatic system is overtaxed or other major organs in your body are overtaxed, they pass on the detoxification to the lymphatics, and sometimes they can just dump the toxins in the skin. It kind of dumps it in there until it's ready to process it, and it can cause those problems. So often we see these problems along the jawline, the cheeks, underneath here on the neck. That's all your major lymphatics here. You know, when you go to the doctor and you're sick and they feel for your glands here, you've got major lymphatic glands here. Do you break out behind the ears, or do you get rashes behind the ears? It could be your lymphatic system depositing the waste there for later, to deal with it later. I sometimes get that if I have a little bit too much wine, and that's toxins. And the lymphatic system is not coping, the liver's properly coping with something else, so it just deposits it there until it can deal with it later. So your adult acne is related to the lymphatic system. Now, your lymphatic system is also responsible for the hormone transport around your body. So it transports hormones to all the different areas of your body. And your hormones are responsible for activating different things in your body as well. So they're triggered by emotions, they're triggered by the environment we live in, but hormones are also triggered by our cycles and our body systems. So often you see women with adult acne, they when I ask them different questions to try and pin down what could be the cause of the breakout, I often hear they're telling me that they are under a lot of stress, or perhaps they haven't been very good with their diet. They've been eating a lot of junk food, takeaway food, processed foods, or perhaps they are aware that they have a nutritional intolerance, a food intolerance. So it could be wheat or dairy products they're intolerant to, but they haven't been very good, or they've been exposed to something, they've eaten it, and they know it, they've broken out. So this is all related to what's happening on the inside of the body. So women and men with adult acne represent or mirror what's happening on the inside. Now, over the years, I've become to associate the where people break out kind of a clue to what could be happening inside the body. Now, the ancient Chinese used to study this, and you can Google face mapping or Chinese face mapping, and it'll tell you where the different organs are located around the face and the associated with it. Now, in my beauty business students group, I've posted a few of the face maps that I found that are pretty good. So you can join my group and have a look at those face maps to have a look, what area of the skin you're breaking out could be representing that something happening in the body. So for example, just very broadly, I find women who break out on the jawline almost always is stress related. Now, occasionally they'll tell me, I don't feel like I'm stressed. And I said, okay, do you regularly have 8 hours sleep? Are you eating nutritious foods? Are you eating mostly raw foods? Are you avoiding alcohol, smoking, processed foods and things like that? And I go, okay, your mind perhaps is not stressed, but your body is under a lot of stress, and it reacts the way like if your mind was stressed. But also I find when I talk to women and they say, I don't feel like I'm stressed, when we actually drill down, they actually are stressed. They just don't realize it because they think, well, this is the modern lifestyle. That's the way we live. And when I bring it to their conscious attention that the lifestyle they're leading is actually taking a toll on their body, and this is just the first sign of the stress on the body, it's something they need to do about it too. So often it's stress related on the jawline. Chin, I found it's typically associated with the hormonal cycle, so the cycle women go through. So around that time of the month, you often break out around the chin. The cheeks are often associated with digestion, so it's related to your gut health. And if you have perhaps intolerances to certain foods like gluten or dairy, you may have a leaky gut. Your gut flora is out of balance, and you may be even suffering with a condition called Candida albicans, which is the overgrowth of the thrush in our gut because your bacteria is not in balance. That can often be represented in the cheeks. So it's your gut health. Between the brows and the temples is often, your forehead as a rule, is often represented with your major organs such as liver, your pancreas, etc., your kidneys. So your liver and kidneys, your detox organs inside your body. So if they're a little bit overloaded, that could be possibly the clue to what's happening to your skin when you break out in this area. When I treat women, now boys and men are a little bit different, and I'll cover that in another video another time. But for women, most of the time I see it on the jawline and the neck, which is associated with the stress. Occasionally, younger women, I will see on the cheeks, which will then start trying to pin down what it is that's causing it in regards to gut health. And then, of course, up here, which is your major organs. The chest, the shoulders, and the back. So if the acne starts spreading to your body, very likely it's related to food intolerances. So it's your body, it shows rashes. And adult acne is kind of like a rash when your body's exposed to toxins or things that it can't process, it can't deal with, and your skin kind of ends up like being the dumping ground. And that's when you get that inflammation. So if a toxin is being deposited into the skin becomes inflamed because it's a foreign material. So we talked about what causes adult acne, and I briefly touched on what is. So it's a deep, painful, red sore lump. And like I said, if you squeeze it, that what comes out, and really you have to squeeze really, really hard, and you go at it and you go at it and you go at it, eventually that skin ruptures. You tear the skin open because there's no opening there, unlike a pore. So if you've got an infected lesion in the pore, you can just ease it out because it's already open, it just slides out. Whereas a blind pimple, it's under your skin in your deeper tissues of your skin. And if you have done it, and I've done it, that's how I know what was inside. As a younger woman, I've done it, and I've squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and eventually the skin tears open, and then you've got this clear liquid come to the surface and go, is that sweat? It's not. It's lymph. It's the same thing you see in a blister when you get a blister on your feet. It's the same thing. So your lymph is there to bring white blood cells to kill the bacteria and to clear away the toxins. So your body's already taking care of it. If you go in, tear your skin open, trying to squeeze and get rid of that pimple, all you're doing is exposing that skin to bacterial infection. You bring more bacteria in, more infection. And not only that, when you tear the skin open, it's got these jagged edges. And then when it tries to heal itself, repair itself, you'll end up with a scar. And that's how you can get acne scarring, by picking at your skin, because you're literally tearing the skin open. And the skin, when it heals the best it can. It's not going to be completely smooth. It'll be either dimpled, so you'll have a little dimple where the collagen has completely collapsed, and the skin tries to just to seal off that wound, or the skin will start depositing lots more collagen to try and repair that wound, and that collagen builds up into this fibrous little cyst, and you'll end up with a raised lump. I don't know if you can tell if I go closer. For those people that know me, have seen me, I've got a little cyst here. And that cyst happened when I tried to squeeze. And it felt satisfactory at first. Okay, I got this stuff out. But then it scarred. And now I've got this permanent lump, and there's nothing much I can do. I've done micro, I've done needling to minimize it. It's a little bit smaller, but that's it. So it's not a major thing, but a lot of other people with acne can end up with more pronounced acne, dimpled or raised. So you've got uneven skin surface. So whatever you do, if you have a blind pimple, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And I'll give you some tips on how you can manage it. Now, in the case of acne, people often have more than one or two. So if it's a hormonal thing, I used to get it all the time as a younger woman. I particularly see that in younger women. Around that time of the month, you get one, maybe two lesions on the chin. But with a stress-related or toxins or food intolerances, there is more than 5 lesions usually associated. So we say anything more than 5, then you need to start doing some anti-inflammatory treatments. But you can do spot treatments as well. So what skincare should you be looking for to treat your adult acne? And that's what it's called. We call it adult acne. Sometimes it's referred to as toxic acne because it's related to toxins. Sometimes it's related to adult toxic acne. I've gone blank. It'll come back to me. So anyway, so adult acne. So what can you do for it? Look for skincare that has anti-inflammatory ingredients. Now, one of the things that has been invented to treat adult acne back in the 80s that worked really, really well was vitamin A, retinol. Now, when the doctors were conducting tests and looking for medicine to treat adult acne, it was an internally taken medicine, retinol, or vitamin A therapy, such as Retin A. And it was very, very effective at treating acne. So how vitamin A works, it's an anti-inflammatory ingredient. It reduces inflammation in the skin rejuvenating. And also it stimulates the way the skin renews itself. So often when you use vitamin A, you get flaky skin because you have a lot of dead cells coming to the surface. The skin is renewing itself and producing more cells at an accelerated rate. That helps the skin rejuvenate faster. So basically they speed up the renewals, but there are side effects with that. So often people, when they take Retin A or medicines with vitamin A that are prescribed by the doctor, they often have side effects. We as beauty therapists need to be aware of it because anybody that takes medicines for acne, like with vitamin A, they have extremely sensitive skin. The skin is inflamed, it's itchy, it's red, it can be painful, and it can be flaking uncontrollably. We particularly have to be careful not to wax over a client like that because waxing can actually pull whole skin off. So if you are using medications like that, always tell your beauty therapist so that they are aware. Because particularly strip wax, if there is, you go to a cheaper place where they do facial waxing with strip wax, it'll just pull your skin off and you'll end up with raw skin on the surface. Beauty therapists will avoid treatments with AHAs, with lasers, microneedling, anything that causes inflammation and rejuvenation in the skin. If you're using any medicines, prescription medicines from the doctor, they will avoid those treatments because your skin is already being treated by a doctor and the skin is already highly active, and you don't want to overstimulate that because you'll end up with a very sore skin and very uncomfortable skin. So that's with the doctors. If you go and see a doctor, that's what they would normally prescribe. And back in the 80s, they invented the vitamin A therapy for people with acne. It was very, very effective. However, like I said, it does come with a lot of side effects. So some people decide to try an alternative option, something a little bit more gentler. So in skincare, we do have products with vitamin A at a much lower dose than what you would have if you were to get a prescription product for the skin. So there are creams by prescription that you can put on your skin. Although I found these days doctors are more likely to go to antibiotics and benzoyl peroxide-based creams to treat the acne, not so much the vitamin A. They usually use the vitamin A creams such as Retin-A for rejuvenating the skin, anti-aging. Because something they found when you treat aging skin, when they treated acne skin, they did rejuvenate the skin. It helped to fade brown spots and reduce wrinkles, etc. So today, Retin-A or vitamin A sort of skincare, medication treatment prescribed by a doctor is mostly used to treat aging skin, sun damaged skin, etc. Let's go back to skincare and what you can do as an alternative option if you don't want the side effects. Because the prescription medications, they have a lot of side effects, which is why they have to be managed by doctors. They have to be supervised by doctors. So for an alternative suggestion is if you see a beauty therapist and they have cosmeceutical skincare they use in the salon or spa, they will often have a product with vitamin A in it, a retinol-based product, which is a far lower dose than you would get anything by prescription, and it seems to be deemed to be safe for most people to use. Now, the products come in different strengths. Certain products come in a lower dose, so most people can use it every day. Other products come in a very high dose that only very few people can use and only occasionally. What is the difference? But of course, with a higher dose, you get a little bit faster result, more dramatic result, but it also increases your chances of side effects as well. So I would recommend people start off with something like 0.025, 0.3% retinol in a product, in a serum, to start treating acne and introduce it slowly to the skincare. What I mean by slowly, that means you only start using it once, twice, 3 times a week, and then gradually over time build it up to nightly use to allow your skin to adjust that level of activity, because it's quite a strong ingredient to work with. It is one of the best ingredients we have to treat adult acne and aging, but it is quite strong, so we need to slowly introduce it to our clients. If your skin is a little bit stronger, over time you could step up to the next thing, step up to 0.5. 1% is the maximum allowed here in Australia. So 1% retinol in our skincare formula is the maximum allowed before a prescription. Now, I've tried a 1% retinol serum, and it felt like I was putting shattered glass on my face. It wasn't comfortable. So some skins can't tolerate high levels of vitamin A or retinol, which is why you need to speak to your beauty therapist and get the best advice for your skin. So always consult with your therapist. Whatever you do, don't buy these things online and self-prescribe yourself, because you could damage your skin if you're using the wrong product for your skin type. So always go and get some advice from your beauty therapist. So that's vitamin A. What are some other ingredients that can help improve acne? Some of the other ingredients that I found, salicylic acid. Now, salicylic acid is antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. So salicylic acid helps to manage bacteria. So occasionally with the acne, where there's blind pimples, if people have picked at it, scratched at it because it can get itchy, or they try to squeeze it, they reintroduce bacteria in and they get an infected lesion, then salicylic acid is really, really good, because it helps to dry that pus up very, very quickly. I've seen it happen overnight. When my children, they've had a bit of a breakout, we spot treat the breakout. Overnight, it dries up the pimple, which is fantastic. Salicylic acid also is anti-inflammatory, so it reduces the pain, the swelling, the redness associated with that adult acne. So look for a formula in a serum form that you can spot treat with salicylic acid. You will never have a vitamin A and salicylic acid combined together. I've not seen that yet. You will probably have to buy 2 separate serums. Now, which one do you choose? If it's just blind lesions, go with vitamin A. If you've got a combination of blind lesions with infected, then salicylic-based serum would be great. Centella asiatica is another ingredient that's terrific for reducing inflammation and also helps to prevent scarring. When I used to do electrolysis years and years and years ago as a beauty therapist, we used to recommend a Centella asiatica gel post-electrolysis to prevent any problems, reduce inflammation, etc. Glycolic acid, which is related to licorice, so licorice extract, fantastic anti-inflammatory, cooling, calming on the skin, which is what your skin needs when it's being inflamed and has that red, angry kind of acne. Allantoin is lovely, calming and soothing botanical plant extract that's been used for many, many years in skincare for calming the skin. Tea tree essential oil is okay, particularly if you have pussy pimples associated, so if you've got the combination skin. And of course, green tea. Green tea is fantastic as an anti-inflammatory, healing, repairing ingredient. So there are a number of ingredients. These are just some example, but there are any botanical extract that's powerful anti-inflammatory and helps to stimulate healing would be a good choice for your skincare. So you can use skincare with the ingredients I've just mentioned, as in serum. You can use it also in a night cream form. I would always use these kind of ingredients in a night cream because they're a little bit more active and can be too strong for the daytime during the sunlight hours. So nighttime, the cleansers often come in with salicylic acid as well. So you could choose a number of different products that you could treat depending on the severity. So if it's just one or two spots, you just need a spot treatment as in a serum. If you've got a full-blown acne, you may need to use a combination of product together to tackle that inflammation and the acne of the skin. Now, of course, that's what we can do from the surface. But to really address the problem, you need to address what's happening inside. So as a beauty therapist, we can help to calm that acne down, clear it up. However, if the client doesn't address what's happening on the inside, what often happens is they come back when they've had another breakout to treat the skin. So we'll calm it down, and then when they have another breakout, they come back and we have to do it again. So what I would strongly suggest is you refer yourself or go and see a natural health practitioner, such as nutritionist, naturopath, to determine whether you have any allergies, food intolerances, hormonal imbalances, etc. You know, what's your gut health like? So I think the best person to talk to about that would be a natural health practitioner. An alternative practitioner such as a naturopath would be fantastic. They can very quickly pinpoint what the problem is and then prescribe or recommend for you appropriate lifestyle and nutritional changes to help you clear your skin. So that often may include a eliminatory diet to try and find out what's causing the problem. It could include herbal, homeopathic supplements to help your skin and your body cope with the stress or with the toxins or with the breakouts, as well as some nutritional supplements or diet changes. So this is very, very useful, and I think it's really, really important. Now, if you want to do it yourself and you have a bit of a clue of what may be happening to your skin, what could be related to, so you go, yep, okay, I always break out. Now that you know, every time I'm stressed, I get those breakout. Okay, now I need to try some lifestyle stress management changes, implement them into my lifestyle. So stress management such as go into yoga, start walking, get a bit of sunshine, get extra sleep, meditate. There's lots of different things on how you can manage stress, and I've written articles on managing stress as well, and I'll link to them below. So if it's stress that's causing it, that could be a problem. Look, for women who are in their 30s and 40s suffering with adult acne, I actually wrote a full article on this talking about exactly what I spoke about today with a little bit more. So I will go through my blog and I will pop a link to that article below so you can have a little read. I have an article related to stress how you can manage stress, and anything else that I think is related to adult acne, I'll pop the links below. You can always subscribe to my group, the Beauty Business Students group. So I'll link to it below as well, where you can find this kind of information more often. I usually go in there and post this information more often during the week. So you can learn along with others as well. So there you go. So if you're a woman in your 30s and 40s and you're breaking out and you just go, wow, what's happening? There are your answers. So to get more further tips and advice, go and see a beauty therapist, go and see a natural health practitioner as well to get some wellness tips and advice. And if you would like to discover more, just read my blog, thebeautybusiness.com.au. Thank you very much for today. I hope that really helps. And of course, if you know somebody that you will find this helps, please feel free to share the video. If you're a beauty therapist and you have clients that need more information about adult acne, feel free to share the video as well. It's absolutely fine. And you can always share any articles from my blog as well. Thank you once again. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you again next week for more Skin Tips Saturday Live. Take care. Bye.